So this is why I think literally everybody should be interested in math and science. If you're going to go into art, then you should be interested in math and science because it will help you to make your art more pleasing to the eye, more interesting to look at, more it'll make people want to see your art and stare at it for a long time. I'm pretty sure that's what people want out of their art. That's kind of what I want out of mine when I make a piece. So if you're going into, I don't know, writing or something like that, or if you're going into a sport, science is really important. If you understand the human psychology, you can, or if you understand how different things are affecting you, not necessarily just psychologically, but physically, but knowing all this stuff really helps you out. It'll help you perform better. It'll help you make your work better. Like if you're going to be a businessman, like a giant CEO, you should be really interested in math and science. It'll help you get to the top. So what I mean by this is, to me, math and science are just simply the language of truth, and truth in the sense of how the world works around us. So, like with art, if you go and study art, you'll notice a very heavy lean on understanding human psychology and emotion. This is because art is supposed to affect your emotion and make you think. So the longer people stare at your art, the better, the more they're thinking about it. And the reason you want to use math and science for that is because math will give you stuff like the law of proportions. It'll make your art easier to look at and follow for the human eye. You want to know science because you want to know how your color palette is going to affect the human psyche. If you want a certain emotion, if you want people to feel a certain emotion from your piece, it's very important to look at how your color palette is. So if you want people to feel passionate about something and like very, like they want to go for it, you're going to use more warm colors. You're going to use a lot of reds and stuff like that. If you want people to think about your piece, or you want people to be more thoughtful about the subject of your piece, then you would want to use cool tones, blues and stuff like that. That's a thoughtful color. So just that simply alone is, I think that's super interesting. If you're going into music and stuff, math is really important as far as timing and fractions and, I can't think of what it's called. I can't even remember right now. But basically, it's like the 4/4. It's your time increments or something like that. I can't think of the word for it. I used to know it, but I can't think of it now. Anyway, so that's important. It's not intense math, but it's still math. And science goes into music as well. Science explains why we find certain sounds pleasing, why two tones mixed together sound really good and certain tones mixed together sound awful. And just to explain it, tones that sound really good to each other, the wavelengths that are going through in the sound, they'll line up and combine with each other to make a more pleasing tone. It's super interesting. Look into it. You can look it up. It's everywhere. There's all kinds of science about it. It's so cool. Anyway, so moving on. If you're going to go into writing, you also want to understand human psychology. That's super important. You want to be able to get into the character's head. You want to be able to build a world that people can immerse themselves in. So you would need to understand how the human mind works. You would need to understand how cultures are formed. You would need to understand geography, just literally everything. Sorry. Anyway, so those are just a few things, and then math and science itself, just the study of it is so cool. We got to the moon, another celestial body in our solar system, because of math and science, because we were able to explain how the world works around us and then say, well, hey, I can explain how that works now, I think I can turn that into something that will help me to do whatever it is they want to do. But I don't know. There's people in the third world countries where they live in villages and they live in huts in the dirt and stuff like that. Or I mean, not that bad. I'm sorry, but they don't live well, and they don't have a lot of the things that we have here in the first world. You know, just the comforts of a fairly secure environment as far as air conditioning, lighting, stuff like that. Math and science has helped people, the people that are going to school now. They've built things for their communities. There's that picture going around with the girls with the generator that runs on urine. That's super awesome. That's amazing. Math and science did that for them. There's another one where I can't remember what it was, but a guy taught himself how to build a windmill. I think he brought a supply of water, like a steady supply of water, or he brought electricity to his village. That's awesome. That's super cool. Math and science did that. So, those are just a few things that math and science can do for you. If you're super into religion, if you're super into your religion, whatever religion you observe, I think you should be into math and science. If math and science are the truth, and I also believe that God is the truth. In religions, I was raised Catholic. Not very super duper observant, but my parents tried their best. And if God is anything to me, and at least how I was raised, and I'm sure a lot of people think this way, he is the truth. God is the truth, whatever God is. So by using math and science to understand the world around you, which is the truth, then you are closer to God purely by doing that. So that's super cool. You can get closer to whatever God is by learning about math and science. I'm sure people will completely disagree with me, but it really is my view. I really do believe that. And anyway, moving on. Math and science, so science, the study of how the world works around it. Well, math, you could think of math as a language of science, which is even cooler, but regardless of that, science itself has helped us to create medicines. We've gone to the moon, like I said. We have a telescope currently rocketing through space, just taking pictures of everything for us that we sent out a long ass time ago, like in the 70s, I think. We sent out so many others since then, obviously, but we've gone to Mars now. There's two man-made things on Mars now because of science, because we were able to understand and explain the world around us and utilize it. That's awesome. That's so cool. And there's been kind of a weird, I don't know if it's like a serious thing or if it's just something that's just kind of gonna pass, but it's a little concerning, is a move away from all of that. I want to say a lot of people that are doing this are young people, but it's not always true. For example, science has helped the human race extend its life expectancy by a shit ton. Decades ago, people were only living until 70 or 80. That was the average, was for people to live to 7. If you lived to 80, you were old, so old. But now people are living to their hundreds. You see it more and more now that people are living into their hundreds, at least their 90s, Most of the time when you hear about someone dying, they're almost 100 years old. They're so close to 100 years old. That's so awesome. We've advanced so far in medicine because of science and math, that we're able to extend our the population's life expectancy, not just one person. That's awesome. Like I said, I've been seeing kind of a concerning move away from just all of that in general. And I really hope it's just a lot of young people that don't understand this stuff yet, and they have yet to really get into it and experience the world on a whole. I'm seeing that math and science are not being taught as much in schools, or it's being changed so that kids are having a hard time with it. I don't know exactly what's going on in there, but it's I just really hope they grow out of it. I hope it's just something that people are just going to grow out of, because honestly, math and science is just the coolest thing you could be into. What is cooler than being able to describe the world around you and say like that is happening because of this, like be able to look at lightning and explain why that's happening, be able to look at the sun and explain why it's there. That's awesome. So I don't know, I have a lot more that I could say, but I think it would just be kind of repeating everything or just really going into silly little nitpicks about nothing. So what are you guys super into? What is your interest? I mean, you don't even have to talk about math and science. What are you interested in? Tell me. Thanks for listening.